I see the key component of well-being as being living a good life. And a good life is one which is filled with as much meaning and purpose that we can extract from it. And by that I mean that we should, in the first instance, seek enlightenment, whether that's intellectual or spiritual enlightenment. We should then seek to do good. And you can't seek to do good until you have sought enlightenment and sought a degree of self-examination so that you can tell what good is and what it's not. Because we are extremely adept as a species at telling ourselves that whatever we happen to be doing is good and coming up with justifications for why it is good, rather than starting at the other end and saying what is good and how can I do it. To love and be loved, that is another crucial component. To create and to teach. Those, to me, are the pillars of what a good life looks like. And what you get from a life like that is a fulfillment of a kind that cannot be found by other means. And that is absolutely crucial to our well-being. Of all those components of a good life, the most important is to do good. It's the most important for your own well-being, as well as, of course, for other people's. And that means not just trying to do good by other people, but also, I believe, by the beyond human world, by the living planet beyond us as well, upon which, of course, we ultimately depend. But that is a key component of the moral fabric of our lives. And failing to protect the living world, that is a moral wound inflicted upon everybody, as well as upon the non-human world. And so trying to reconnect with the living planet and to protect it, not from the point of view of an argument that we will lose money if we don't save it, or there have to be this many parts per million or this many millisieverts or whatever it is that it's so easy to become lost in. Yes, we need to equip ourselves with all the technical knowledge and we need to have particular objectives, but what informs that engagement must, in my view, be our love of the natural world, our delight in its beauty and wonder and enchantment. Because without that, it's, for a start, very hard to keep sight of what it is that you're trying to achieve. And for a second, you lose the purpose. You lose the sense of meaning in what you're doing. You become completely lost in the process of it. And the original motive spirit that gets you into the issue in the first place disappears. I go to meetings of environmentalists and I sometimes begin by asking, how many of you became environmentalists because you were worried about the size of your bank balance? And not a single hand is raised. And I then say, well, so how do we expect to persuade other people to care about the natural world by telling them that they'll lose money if we don't? Because that's become the great argument that's now used, that we must protect the natural world because otherwise it'll damage us in the pocket. We'll lose out financially. That's not what motivates people. It's not what inspires people. It's not what instills them with the desire to change things. What instills them with the desire to change things is a much deeper sense of well-being than the money you might have in the bank. A much deeper sense of connection, and that is a connection best described as love. And the best way for me to re-engage with the joy and delight of life and to top up once more with the things that keep me going is to get out into the natural world and hopefully have some magnificent experiences with nature. Finding a couple of otters, hunting fish, for example, or seeing the dolphins saucing in the waves when I'm on my kayak. It's those sorts of things which recharge me, which fill me with the joy that I need to keep going.